Uncle C, back in the office. And in this video, I'm going to show you how to be the loser that women love, okay? Just let that sink in when I say that title. How to be the loser that women love. See, this video is going to be a total 180 shift, a total mind reprogramming almost, to see how to view the world through the lens of attraction and what women actually respond to versus what you've been socially programmed to think about the world. The things that you've been socially programmed to think about the world when it comes to get a good job and make a lot of money and now you're high status, you're slowly seeing that this is failing you. You're slowly seeing that you probably feel like you're tied to a job that doesn't serve you in the same boring routine, okay? And even if you make good money, you feel unfulfilled and you feel like there's something missing. Most men feel that way. Majority of men feel this way, and I'm going to explain to you why, and a big majority of the reason is because majority of men don't fundamentally understand what triggers attraction. What you have to first learn about women is to women, pretty much everything is opposite. Literally everything. So to them, okay, everything that you think is bad or a bad trait or a bad quality to have or to possess in a relationship, what you're going to find the more you date is they think that it's good. So let me give you an example. This is a list of all the things that society deems as being a loser. Right here, okay? All the things that society deems as being a loser. Selfish, self-centered, narcissistic, low in empathy, meaning you mainly put yourself first. You don't really care how others feel. You're mainly just going about your tasks to live the way that you would like in order to just get by or to do whatever. Okay, you don't necessarily fit the same social mold as everybody. Maybe you don't attend the birthday party. Maybe you don't attend the niece's aunt's piano recital. Whatever. Okay. Always thinks that they're right. Low amount of focus or scatterbrain, all over the place, okay? Low amount of impulse control. Maybe that dude is always out at the bar or whatever. Maybe the guy really doesn't have a lot of care for other people's feelings or no direction in life. What you're going to find is all of these traits, okay, that you would say that they're bad. This is the guy that she's aroused by. This is the guy that she's turned on by. This is the guy that she actually gets wet for. This is what you're going to find the more you date. The more you date and the more you actually just open up your eyes and you pay attention to which dudes get the hot girls, which dudes actually have access to like the hot women at either the party or the bar or the club or whatever, it's going to be all the traits that were opposite of what your parents, your teachers, and everything told you. Okay, so keep that in mind. A lot of times you might even be in a situation where you have a mom and a dad, okay, and maybe your mom even finessed your dad for a bunch of money, and on top of that, maybe your mom even had a promiscuous past and your dad wasn't even her first pick. That could happen. I would say in majority of situations that does happen. So even the fundamental element in the household you might have grown up in, where you see masculinity and femininity and both of them coming together into one family unit, might not even be rooted in genuine desire in the first place. There's a very high probability or high chance that your dad wasn't even your mom's first pick. So let that sink in. As a child even, maybe the original idea of a relationship that you saw was not rooted in actual desire. It was more so rooted on what she needed. There's a very high probability of that. What you have to do to slowly make this mindset shift is you have to detach from your old social programming. Okay, I'll say this one more time. You have to detach from your old social programming to understand how society is keeping you unattractive, okay? How society is keeping you unattractive. So let me give you an example. You were told as a kid, most likely, that if you have focus, if you stay disciplined, you just work that same career and you go up in the corporate ladder and you make a bunch of money and you sit at your career for the next 20 years, that's all that matters. That's all that matters, and the sky's the limit for you, and you're going to have access to beautiful women with an amazing wife by your side who never starts any drama and just has amazing children with you, and you two live happily ever after, okay? And you were probably told that that's all that matters. So you went through all of that just to see that majority of women don't even get turned on by providers. So you go through all this, and then what you see, okay, is that a lot of times women get wet for or get turned on by what most people would consider trash. You see a dude who's constantly out partying, he usually has no shortage of options. You see a dude who, let's say, maybe he's a stoner, or maybe he has a bunch of loser friends that he's always with. These types of guys seem to always have the highest interest in women because he doesn't necessarily give a shit what anybody thinks about him. So this is what you have to understand, okay? These guys seem to never have a shortage of options, and here's why. So what you're actually going to find about women, the more you date, is that the truth is that women only want a good guy, loyal provider type when she's either ready to settle down, ready to have kids, or she finally wants somebody to pay for all the shit that she wants to buy. Okay, this is what you're going to find. All the stuff that she wants to buy, she wants to find a guy who will raise his hand and say, yeah, you can swipe my credit card. That's what she's looking for. So the loser in the lens or in the eyes of women is really the only man that they see as truly free. Okay, he's truly free. Like, think about it this way. Let's say you have a guy who makes really good money, but he hates his life because he hates his job. He hates what he does. He hates having to sit in front of the desk or in front of the computer all day, but he does it anyways. And he makes really good money, but he does it anyways, meaning he does a bunch of crap that he doesn't want to do. That guy, okay, is almost like a slave, or at least a slave in his mind, because he's tied to doing all these things. Now, the loser in the eyes of women is really the only man who's truly free, because he doesn't give a shit if anybody thinks he's a loser. He just does what he wants. Meaning, if he doesn't want to get a job, he doesn't. And you'll notice this too with these guys. They always seem to get by somehow, right? It's like they're never starving, okay? They usually don't appear like they ran out of food. They usually found a couch or somewhere to stay, or with a friend or someone. And these guys typically don't have any shortage of women. Well, why would that be? It's because they are free from all of the social norms that keeps most guys stuck. They are free from social expectations. They are also free from the constraints of work-life balance that everybody tells them that they have to follow. Oh, gotta make enough time for work. Gotta make enough time to follow your fantasy football team. Gotta make enough time to go see your mom 3 days a week. Gotta make enough time for your niece's aunt's great uncle's piano recital twice a month. Gotta make enough time to go to the family reunion. Gotta make enough time to go see Aunt Betty. Did you go to church on Sunday? Did you make sure that you watched football on Sunday with your dad? This is the list of stuff that everybody is going to try to put onto you through life. So if you actually look around, what you're going to find is that most people are focused on everybody else. Most people are focused on everybody else. And what's going to happen is society or people in your life will try to put emphasis on things that you should be doing with your time because they can't focus on themselves. That's what you're going to find. That's how most people spend their time, is being outwardly focused on what everybody else is doing instead of what they're doing or what they want to do. Which ultimately, if you follow this type of stuff, you'll end up leading a life that you never even wanted in the first place. So the dude who's a loser, he's free from bills or paying for shit because he doesn't even care if he owns anything. Think about that for a second. This type of guy is free from bills and work stress because he doesn't even care if he owns anything. Well, not only that, he's free in all the ways that most men wish they had the balls to step into. Most guys don't have the balls to do this. They go to college, they end up hating their life, they hate their career, they work at the same career their whole life, they did what they told would make them a good guy, only to see that women don't care, and they go to bed alone every single night with zero options. That's most guys' life. So you may call him, okay, from the outside looking in, everybody else may call this guy the rebel, the loser, the degenerate, the piece of shit, the scumbag, but to her, here's what you have to understand. To her, he is literally like untamed masculinity. And this is why the character in any romance novel that women read, he typically has all these characteristics of what most people would consider negative characteristics, but this is who she's turned on by. So keep that in mind, okay? Now, this is what I can tell you. Your logical brain cannot see what she sees. Your logical brain can't see what she sees unless you start thinking this way that I'm teaching you. Your logical brain cannot see what she sees, and it's destroying your attraction. This is what you have to understand. Your logical brain cannot see what she sees, and it's destroying your attraction. So let's look at some words that should be positive, okay? Because I told you in the beginning here that to women, a lot of times everything is opposite. So the word loyal. Loyal, okay, would be a good word. But to her, this typically translates to no options. The word nice. He's a nice guy. He's a nice person. You would think that this is good. To her, she sits there and goes, oh, well, he probably has to be. Or he has to be nice so that way people are not mean to him because he's weak and he can't stand up for himself. Let's look at the word caring, okay? Oh, you're caring. That should be a good word. What it actually translates to when it comes to attraction is she sits there and goes, okay, he doesn't prioritize himself and he can't say no, which is why he has to be caring because he has no backbone. He's spineless. So this is what men run into. And now she sees that you also do not form your own goals or your own worldview. When you follow all of these traits that everybody told you to do, go to college, be a nice guy, be a good guy, get one loyal, stable job, do this, do that, keep doing this, keep doing that, you'll be rewarded, only to find out that every single day you're not rewarded. Okay? And now she sees that you also do not form your own goals that you actually had for yourself or your own worldview. Your parents, your teachers, and Instagram did it for you. That's who formed your worldview, and that's who formed your goals. Because of that, you need to step back and ask yourself, have you ever truly thought for yourself and asked yourself, what do I want? Okay, what do I actually want out of life? So if you live this way, you will probably get, here's what you have to know, okay? So what I told you in the beginning of this video is how to be the loser, okay, that women love. How to be the loser that women love. If you live this way, you will probably get way more sex than you've ever had in your entire life. You will probably get laid more than the looks maxers. You'll get laid more than the dude who is the accounting bro, or what do they call it these days? The finance bro, whatever you want to call it. However, this is what you have to understand. However, okay, eventually, this is what I want you to know. Eventually, everything has a run rate. If you live this way and you have no direction and no focus in your life, it probably will get old, okay? You will get old, meaning every single month, every single year that goes by, you're going to run out of energy. If you look at how most guys move when they're 85 compared to how they moved at 25, they're a lot slower. It's harder to get around. Your body starts to deteriorate as you get older. Well, if you're going to get older, what does that mean? That means if you didn't do anything in your younger years to set yourself up for a better future, a better financial future, ability to take care of yourself and people around you, it's probably going to be a really hard survival as you get older. Not to mention, this is what I want you to know, eventually, okay, with time, okay, this is what you have to know. However, with time, when you're dating, hypergamy will start to kick in. Eventually, she might say, look, this guy's fun, but this is going nowhere. Eventually, here's what you have to understand. She may date this guy for 6 weeks. She may date this guy for 6 months. She might even occasionally date this guy here and there for the next 6 years. Doesn't matter. But everything that you're going to find, majority of the time, has a run rate. And what that means is eventually, especially as she wants to settle down, as she gets older, she will start to want a relationship stability. And even though he was fun, even though he's the one guy that her heart gravitated towards, as she gets older, where she's going to put her time is going to be with what seems stable. So this is truly a balancing act, but this is exactly what you're going to notice women respond to, especially hot women, okay, or women, let's say in their 20s. This is the type of guy that women respond to. So the thing is we can't deny this or ignore this, and this isn't even necessarily my opinion. All you got to do is just go to a club for yourself. Go downtown or go to a club or go to the bar, or if you have a friend who's, let's say, like a hot girl, be like, hey, let me see your Hinge matches or your Bumble or your Tinder matches. What type of guys are you swiping on? And then when she shows you, you're going to be in for a rude awakening, because what you're going to notice is damn near everything in this video is probably pretty spot on true. If you like this video, take this a step further. Join us inside the community that I made for you so I can help you learn, understand, and master the language of women. So if this right here on this marker board seems like a lot of concepts that make sense, but you're now looking for a step-by-step process to follow, like here's what you do when you first meet the woman, just do this. Here's what you do on the first 1 to 3 dates, just go and do this. Here's what you do when it comes to a long-term relationship, go and do this. If you want an actual process, step 1, step 2, step 3, blah, 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 that's why you join the community. I've created a pretty strong brotherhood of dudes who are also learning, understanding, and mastering this system, this language of women. I built it. I consider it my life's work. It took me a lot of videos to put all this together, to start to learn this stuff, and in my own life implement this stuff to actually be able to teach you guys. Hit the like button, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.